I've actually had this running for a few seconds now, waiting for the actual intro that they had to kind of expire, but yes, it is true. They just showed Soulframe in Warframe's devstream. Because come TennoCon, that is right, in TennoCon traditional fashion, I meant to say devstream, but I'm rolling with it, they went and showed Soulframe. They will be showing more at TennoCon 2023, but in devstream 169, they actually showed something nobody expected. For the 10-year anniversary devstream of Warframe, they showed us gameplay that looks like they've taken part of the mapping system from the Deviri Paradox Caves, the plains of Eidolon grass and trees, changed the trees, I can't think of many trees that look like these, and part of the Warframe melee system and thrown it into Soulframe. Actually, after watching this, and yes, I'm going to overanalyze the living poop out of it, the gameplay looks very similar. The third person, the way that the camera's moving around, but there's no stone bridges in the plains of Eidolon. It's just the blocking animation that seems to be the same. Yes, the way the sword swings is kind of similar, and this was always going to be what happened because the people who made Warframe are in fact making Soulframe. They're not working on Warframe anymore. So yes, there's going to be a lot of similarities. Steve actually turned around and said they have taken things from Warframe and added it to the game. I would assume things like the colour mixing there, character modelling, possibly, because of the drifter, because it makes it easier to add things, but Soulframe is going to be an all-melee game. They have said this the whole time. Yeah, there's going to be different melee weapons, I'm assuming, because that one's dual-wielding, as is this one, but you would have noticed the also use of, I'm not going to call it magic because I don't know what it actually is yet, but abilities that I found pretty interesting, and I was hoping the barrels would get destroyed. The numbers popping off, yes, I did notice that, plus 571. That's very Warframe as well. That would be when an enemy dies, you get the affinity from them, the experience. The blocking is really the only major thing I actually took from this that looks like it's been taken straight from Warframe. Up until that point right there. That, wait for it, the big hammer will come down. Oh, you just can't see it. He'll do it again, don't worry. That's Frost's Ice Wave. They haven't just stolen certain aspects, they have in fact, I wouldn't be too surprised if that happens to be animation for, oh look, there's the Ice Wave again, from another boss who happens to actually wield a giant hammer. And also does the same kind of abilities. This is just basically a gameplay demo. A teaser. Oh look, Ice Wave again. So most of these things will probably change before this game comes out. Yes, it is heavily inspired by Warframe, but that's because it's made by the people who are making the game. And I could go really, really far down the rabbit hole of, in the future going forward, Digital Extreme, they're not going to be a company that makes games, because they joked about it, but I can see it coming. Digital Extreme is no longer a developer, they're going to become a publisher. Because, okay, they are actually making this game, but they are also publishing another game that they didn't make. Wayfinder. I'm not showing footage of that because we're not allowed to. And it's not even non-disclosure agreements, it's just the agreement you have when you sign up to it, and I will make a video on that when we're allowed to actually show the in-game footage. And it comes to something when Soulframe is actually showing in-game footage, combat footage, but Wayfinder won't let you. And in fact, the gameplay's ruined in the way they did the security for it. 571. It's the only thing that's not blurred here as well. I actually managed to catch that. 571, perfectly clear. The character itself, almost perfectly clear. But everything else isn't, because the camera is moving. But the trees, there's no trees in Warframe that look like that. The grass and everything else, there's only so much you can do in a game engine, and since it's probably going to be using the same one that Warframe uses, yeah, it makes sense to use a lot of the same things that they have. But it's the block. I don't really like the fact that he's blocking exactly the same as it is in Warframe. Yes, there's a lot of other little touches Warframe related that are in here. Steve did mention the fact that they've borrowed from Warframe to get it kind of ready, but a lot of this is subject to change between now and TennoCon, when they will be showing more of it. But I'm torn. I like the look of it, but you've got to be really careful when you make games that are solely based on melee attacks. They haven't really said what Soulframe is going to be yet. Is it going to be a good game? Is it not going to be a good game? Would literally, even though we've had the first huge kind of, oh yeah, we haven't really shown much about the game yet. There's a few pictures kicking around on the internet that we've posted of a bit of artwork here and a bit of artwork there, but oh, here's some gameplay. Not just gameplay, live gameplay. Wrong button. Scott was actively playing this at the time. So this is actively working. Yes, okay, it is a very, very short, it's not even a demo, it's been thrown together just to kind of show the game off a tiny little bit. Show the enemies, the character you will be playing in the game. That's what has me a little bit more worried than anything else. To show off the character you will be playing in the game. It's really hard to have a game with good multiplayer if there's only one character. They may add more over time. It's either going to be heavy on the cosmetics, heavy on the customization, or there will possibly be more... Ice wave. More coming. We don't know. There is very little known about this game, other than the fact that this guy has the Stranger's mask on. Huh? Doesn't have the Stranger's mask on, but it looks goddamn close. But you have to question, which came first? The Stranger's mask? Or Soulframe? The Stranger's mask. 2000... Oh, I can't even say 2019, maybe like 2020, 2021. When this didn't exist. But yes, we got to finally see it. Yes, it is heavily borrowed from Warframe for a lot of the things about it. But it also hasn't at the same time. Still hyped for it? Well, we'll see. Given nothing more but time. And with that, we'll leave this off here. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.